Happy Holy Hump Day on this February 1st, everyone. I'm Pastor Robert. Welcome to this midweek time where I can share some spiritual thoughts and reflections with you. And welcome to the month of February. I know some people aren't thrilled with the month of February because it tends to be really cold and rainy and slushy and snowy and there's still ice. It's right in the midst of winter. So I decided to look up a survey on people's favorite months, and here's the order from the most favorite month of the year to the least favorite. So coming in at number one, the most favorite month for most people is the month of October. That makes sense. It's a nice time of year. Nice weather usually in the month of October, and the leaves are changing. For number two, there was a tie between May and December, and I can understand that too, as you're getting ready to move into the summer from May, and then you have December with the excitement of Christmas. And then at number three, there was also a tie between June and July, so you kind of have like vacation months there, which that makes sense. Also at number four, there's a tie between September and April. And then coming in at number five is the month of August. And at number six is the month of November. And then number seven, there's a tie between February and March, those back-to-back months. And then coming in dead last for eighth place is January. So I guess that survey makes sense to me. And so why is February ranked near the bottom? Well, like I said, it's, we're still in the midst of winter. The weather isn't always the best. And you're kind of starting to look forward to more spring temperatures. And you're just not there yet. So you have a ways to go. So I guess the question is, in what ways can February help us to grow in our faith? And I put two things down for us to think about today. And the first one is, we are in the midst of what's called ordinary time on the church calendar. And ordinary time is just a season in the church year of steady growth. And so that's what we've been doing these Sundays of January, as well as now that we're going to be in February. We have these just Sundays of regular growth, looking at the appointed readings, not attached to any major holiday or anything. But it's just a time for us to slow down a little bit and reflect on what it means to be one of Jesus' disciples. And so we have ordinary time right now, which can be a very helpful time for us just to have that steady growth in our faith. And then the second thing is, it is Black History Month. February is Black History Month. And I did a little research on this and found out that Black History Month really originated in 1926 by the Black historian Carter Woodson. And it originally was coinciding with Lincoln's birthday on February 12th and Frederick Douglass's birthday on February 14th. Those two were seen as together for that Black history emphasis. And before 1926, this week was celebrated by Black communities beginning in the late 1800s. And in 1970, February as a month to celebrate Black history originated in 1970 by students at Kent State University here in Ohio. And then in 1976, President Gerald Ford recognized it officially as Black History Month. So that's a little of the history of how we have Black History Month. So I do want to show this little video that shares about the Athens, Ohio connection with Black history, because I think we do have a lot of history to share as part of Black History Month. So let's look at this video. For Black History Month in February, it's important to remember several events that have happened here in Athens, Ohio. And I will share these in chronological order. And the first one is very sad and tragic. And it relates to Christopher Davis, who was a 24-year-old biracial man who lived in Albany, and he was accused of raping and attempted murder of a white woman in 1881. He was jailed in Athens, and a white mob broke into the prison and ended up lynching him at what is now the Richland Avenue Bridge. A monument to him is located on Mulberry Street. Booker T. Washington was an educator, civil rights leader, advisor to U.S. presidents, and was married right here in Athens, Ohio, to Olivia Davidson. Together, they would establish Tuskegee University in Alabama. The house here in Athens, where they were married in 1886, was the home of Olivia's brother-in-law, who was the first Black physician here in Athens County. Templeton Blackburn Alumni Memorial Auditorium, located here on the Ohio University campus, was built in 1928 and named after two Black students, John Templeton, who was the first Black man to graduate from Ohio University in 1828, and he was the fourth Black man to graduate from a U.S. college at the time. The building is also named for Martha Jane Hunley Blackburn, who was the first Black woman to graduate from Ohio University in 1916. Another worthwhile event related to Black History Month here in Athens, Ohio, is that Martin Luther King Jr. was here in 1959, and he led a week-long gathering of 3,600 college students representing 100 countries to discuss racial tension and civil rights. I hope you appreciated that short video describing some events as it relates to Black history right here in Athens, Ohio. And for last year's Black History Month, last February, I read the book, Be the Bridge, Pursuing God's Heart for Racial Reconciliation by Latasha Morrison. And this book really did open my eyes to the subtle and not so subtle ways that we all participate in a lack of understanding for the need for racial equality. It was a very humbling book to read because there's a lot in that book that I didn't know about regarding Black history. And it really did inform me of my own blind spots regarding racism. So let this month of February be a month to pursue God's heart for racial reconciliation, because we are never done learning and growing in our faith about Black history and our need to always be seeking racial equality. I invite you to join us this Sunday for worship at either 9 or 10:30. We also have a live stream of the 10:30 worship service on our church's YouTube channel. The worship theme will be the Wounded Angel, and it's going to be based on our 1 Corinthians appointed scripture reading. And if you like art, I think you're going to particularly like this Sunday of worship. So may God bless you as we observe Black History Month and as we continue to grow in our faith during this month of February.